I got started with Half-Life 2 or Half-Life in general on the original Xbox. I got the game on a whim, just because I had read so many positive reviews about it. I thought, how bad could it be? And immediately I was soaked heavily into its atmosphere and played it numerous times. Then came the Orange Box on the Xbox 360, where not only did I get to play the game again, but with higher graphics settings and a better resolution, but it included Episode 1 and Episode 2. Shortly after came my introduction into PC gaming, where I bought the Orange Box once again and played through it on even better settings, better frame rate, and eventually bought Half-Life 1. Half-Life 1 is a fine game, but Half-Life 2 brings me back time and time again.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste until... well, let's just say your hour has come again.
I didn't see you get on.
Oh, look at this little guy. Oh, fuck, you piece of shit.
This stuff, it's all I have left.
I thought so
Stop
much
picking on me.
that I
Were you the only ones on that train?
here.
There's just a couple of guys. What's it to you?
Overwatch stopped our train in the woods and took my husband for questioning. They said he'd be on the next train.
And so,
I'm not
whether
sure
you
when
are
that
here to
was.
stay or
They're being
passing
nice, though,
through on your
letting
way
me
to
wait for
parts
him.
unknown,
I guess it is pretty
Welcome
nice. Oh, hey, my lucky
City
boot.
17.
You can have it. I don't want any more. What the f***? Ah, shit, I broke the game.
Dr. Breen
Oh,
again.
some milk,
I
finally.
was hoping I'd seen the last of him in City
Where's
14.
the expiration date on this
Welcome
thing?
to City
Shit
17.
spoiled.
To one of our finest
Oh, shit. Maybe if I kill him after he walks out, it'll work out. Ah, shit. Like they say, the glass is always greener on the other side. They can't catch me.
About that beer I owed you.
Barney, you
It's
worthless
me, Gordon.
fucking dick
Barney
wrinkle.
from Black Mesa. Hey, sorry for...
I hate bullies. Excuse me. Pardon me. Sorry, guys. Hey, what's up? It's the last of them. Wait.
Dr. Freeman, I presume. You better hurry. Man of few words, aren't you?
Shut up. One
real
Barney
this
is
time?
pretty cool, but you know what's better than one Barney?
Cares
Two
about that cat.
Barneys.
No, there's nothing.
You
to
know
be
what's better than
nervous
two
about.
Barneys?
We've made
6 fucking Barneys. I love when a sequel takes everything about the first entry and just makes it all better. Or at least builds upon it in some kind of way. I just wish I could say the same thing for Jumanji. Welcome to the Jungle looks so bad, I haven't even given it a try. It just took everything and just botched it all to hell. So in order to explain why I haven't watched Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, I first have to explain why I love Jumanji so much. In its simplest form, Jumanji is about a supernatural game and the characters that embark on a journey to overcome it. The original Jumanji starts off with Alan Parrish. It takes place in the 60s. He's kind of a rich kid, but he gets bullied all the time, and his successful businessman father who runs a shoe factory is pretty stern, kind of shitty to him. Like, he wants what's best for him, but he's really hard on him. And on top of that, Alan's got a girl that he's obviously interested in who's not really interested in him. So things aren't going too good for Alan. And they don't get much better because he's then lured in by a board game and its cool drum noises. And he decides, well, how about I invite my friend zone friend over and we play Jumanji together. So they play it, and some weird stuff's already happening, but they decide to keep on rocking and rolling. And that's when Alan gets the message, In the jungle, you must wait until you roll a 5 or 8. And he is sucked into the game. Sarah Whittle freaks the fuck out. That's the girl that he was playing the game with. She freaks the fuck out. She runs out. She's chased by bats that respond by an earlier move. And we are now transported to modern day, aka the 90s. The house has seen better days at this point, and it's being bought by this lady. She has custody of 2 kids, her sister's kids, which you soon find out she has the custody of these kids because her sister's dead. Both of the parents are dead. And because of that, you also soon find out that it left some rather unsavory effects on the kids. Judy is a compulsive liar, and Peter is what I'd call a semi-mute. He won't talk to anybody, but he'll talk to Judy. Now we're following these characters, and soon they find the game themselves in this house that their aunt is renovating or whatever. So they start playing it. A similar vibe of fuckery is coming from it, including a lion and some giant mosquitoes, and then Peter, being the lucky hand that he is, rolls a 5 or 8 and spawns Alan Parrish. So now he's back in the game. Obviously, he doesn't want anything to do with it, but it all comes down to the fact that they gotta finish it. And there's this awesome fucking little monologue that Alan gives about what Jumanji is like.
I've seen things you've only seen in your nightmares. Things you can't even imagine. Things you can't even see.
Then they find out there was actually a 4th player. We're forgetting about old Sarah Whittle, who watched him get sucked away and was chased by bats. Turns out her life hasn't been very great either. People called her crazy, and she was pretty much treated like shit. And she's kind of turned a little crazy herself by going through all of that.
While we're waiting.
Whoa! God! Sarah! No! Oh, no! Sarah! No! Sarah, please come.
So these are our central 4 characters here. We got the 2 kids with the dead parents, one a compulsive liar, another who's a semi-mute, and then we've got Sarah Whittle, who spent 30 years being called crazy and watched her best friend get sucked into a fucking board game. Then we've got Alan Parrish, who has spent 30 years in a very awfully described place, only to come back and find that his parents are gone. They spent all of their money and went broke looking for him before they died. And he's got nobody.
Where's my mom and dad?
We don't know. This house has been empty for years. Everyone thought you were dead.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. And that's part of why I love Jumanji so much, is that these characters have real flaws that they must overcome while overcoming the game Jumanji. And maybe I just love it way more than the average person, and, I sound like a fucking crazy man, but it's just really good. I forgot to mention there's this crazy sequence in Jumanji where Alan Parrish is literally chased by a hunter that looks just like his dead dad, played by the same guy and everything. So I hear that they're making another Jumanji. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And this goes on for like years. And then it's like totally happening. We get a cast list. It's pretty good. And then we get the first image. And I'm like, ugh, what the fuck is going on here? And then we get our first trailer. And I'm like, are you serious? We're literally getting like a Freaky Friday 13 going on 30 movie? But it's supposed to be a Jumanji sequel, and all of the characters are pretty stereotypical. Like, you got Nerd Boy, and you've got Girl That Nobody Knows, and you've got Popular Girl who takes selfies all the time. Did some fucking disconnected 48-year-old write this movie? Like, I don't understand. And then we've got the Jock Boy, and him and the Nerdy Kid are in trouble together because he needs the Nerd Boy to do his work for him because dumb jockey can't do his academic work. But they find themselves in a Breakfast Club-like situation, and the game has turned itself into a video game, and instead of it playing with the awesome and cool riddles that like give you a subtle hint at what's coming, it's just you get sucked into a game, and you're these totally different grown-up characters, and it's like, I don't know. And from then on, the whole thing is a action comedy is all I can get from the trailers. think about everything I said about this movie. Did any of that sound like an action comedy, a jungle action comedy? Like, but that's what they turned Welcome to the Jungle into. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but I am saying it's a bad sequel. And I know that I really shouldn't say that because I haven't watched it, but how can I accept what they've done to it? Maybe eventually I'll watch it, and maybe I'll actually like it and think it's a good movie. Actually, I'm almost certain I would. A lot of people really liked it. Maybe that'll be someday soon, but I just don't know if I'd ever accept that it's a good sequel. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more bullshit like this. If you didn't like it, there's a dislike button and a comment section where you can, make fun of the way I look or something. But thank you all for watching.
Dear Dr. Green, why has